Hello, I'm Alex Mansfield, the host of Manny Talks Shooting, and welcome to another episode. This is the shooting podcast where I talk to individuals all across the shooting industry. We'll talk competition, self-defense, concealed carry. If you like this content, check out our YouTube channel, Manny Talks Shooting. And without further ado, let's get to this episode. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Manny Talks Shooting, the shooting podcast on the internet because it's free-ish. I don't know how free it is. It costs me money, but who gives a shit? Anyway, let's talk about the title sponsor of the podcast. That'd be Go Fast, Don't Suck. I wear this hat because it's sitting on the hook, not because Bill asked me to, but I like this hat, so it's okay. GoFastDon'tSuck.net, dry fire merch. You got the awesome targets that you stick on your wall that don't hurt anything. You got this awesome banner behind me. It says Manny Talks Shooting, as you see in every video. Get your match jerseys. Like I said, if you're a match, go hit up Bill. He's got great pricing for banners and matches. I'm losing my words already, but it's okay. I've been up since 1:40 in the morning, and it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. But anyway, go check out GoFastDon'tSuck.net. Tell him Manny sent you. Move on with your day. Without further ado, let's talk to my buddy Andrew from Work the Trigger. Buddy, how are you doing?
I'm pretty darn good, Manny. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. If any of you don't know, Work and I, we met each other, years ago, it seems, via his live streams he used to do.
Yep.
And we've met a couple times in person. You can check out his old YouTube videos. I don't know. Do you like people looking at your old YouTube videos? I know Blanton's like,
no, not at all.
No, don't look at it. It's trash.
No. Before about 2 years ago, just don't bother. They're pretty. It's a lot of like tabletops with just wavy hands. And people are pretty sure that I'm trying to speak sign language to them. I'm not. There's no hidden message. When you start out, you're really timid with this stuff. Like, I don't know. Were you like when you started doing this pretty relatively timid with being on camera?
Yes and no, but it's that awkward. You're standing in front of a camera kind of thing. Like, how do I stand? And
I didn't have like a good spot to do it, and I was just doing tutorial stuff. So like it was all tabletop stuff, and it was just my hands because I didn't want to have to go back and forth and like edit a bunch of different camera angles or like move the camera. So yeah, it was just that stuff. And so if you've got like gun stuff that you want to work on, it's great for that. But don't go back looking at that stuff as like an indicator on what I do on the channel.
Right. Just go back to his most popular video, which is 13 years old, of you scratching your dog.
It's not even me, it's my wife. Yeah. My wife scratching my dog.
I mean, just if anyone's actually curious, I mean, no one really cares. But this has got 324,000 views. But it's a dog. Everyone likes dogs.
Yeah. Well, and he growled like crazy. It was great.
Yeah. But anyway, after we got it aside, so people who don't know you on the internet, because they're obviously closed off in their mother's basements, who are you and how did you get into shooting?
So I'm Andrew. I run a YouTube channel called Work the Trigger, along with tons of other stuff. I got into shooting. I was just thinking while you were doing your intro, it's been like about 13 years ago now. Like, I didn't grow up around guns and stuff like a lot of the gun guys did. I was actually introduced to it by a combination of a college professor and a good buddy from church. So my college professor, one of our final projects was to create a resetting pistol 6-shot plate rack. And the way that I ran it, it wasn't really resetting, but it was supposed to be a randomized thing. So I had this cam system that was rolling, and it would pop the plates up at certain times. And over the span of about like 10 seconds, the plates would pop up and you'd have to, in 10 seconds, shoot all 6 plates. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so when we were finished with that project, he took us out all to the range. So a couple of years after that, went out with a buddy of mine. And that was really when I kind of started really getting the itch. Picked up a gun from my mother-in-law, actually, was where I got my first gun. But that was a Smith & Wesson Model 410 in 40 caliber, which is like an old, like early 90s style semi-auto, not a really carryable gun. So then I went out and I did what every gun guy, who really knows his stuff does. And I went and I got a Ruger LCP, the original one.
Not the good one in 22 because it didn't exist.
Exactly. No. No, not the good one. It was the utter crap one. but over time, I just, gathered more and started doing more stuff. And you know how it is as you progress through your kind of um, carry persona, how you work out your carry and everything. I just really got hooked on it all. Between the how fun shooting is, the ability to introduce a competition into it. I can't talk. I'm a competitive person anyway. So like getting into that, and I'm not like competitive to the point of well, we'll get into that when we get to the USPSA talk, but like I'm just I like getting that competitive thing in. So having that as part of that hobby really helped drive it in. And then, well, I started doing the YouTube stuff before that. So it really kind of encapsulated just so many different aspects of what I do and all of how my time that isn't spent with my family or at my day job is, that it kind of took over life.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, and the nice thing is, it becomes a healthy-ish addiction, right? Like you
Yeah.
start, and being competitive. I mean, I think we all are to an extent to be a
Mhm.
little bit competitive. We're not necessarily, I must win the world, the match, the YouTube. I must, not everyone's like, I must be Mr. Beast, but they want
Right.
to be competitive in their own way. They want to, do better every time, it seems like. And like, even with I want this video to be better than the next video and so on and so forth. But,
Hmm.
and I think YouTube's a healthy hobby. It definitely takes over people's lives, it seems like, to a point. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch content. I don't watch much content on YouTube anymore. I don't know
Yeah.
about you. Like, you make it and you're like, it's there. It's entertain. Like, anything I do watch on YouTube is definitely shorts now, because
Hmm.
I sit there and I scroll.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of stuff, but very little of it anymore is like really gun based. Most of it is either like podcast form on in video, because it's easier just to, when I'm sitting at my computer, just to flick it on and have it on the speakers than to like toss headphones in. And I have yet to find a solid like podcast app that's transferable between all of the computers that I use. Um, or like I'll watch short little things on like 3D printing, or just other stuff that's attached to this hobby, but not the shooting aspect itself.
Hmm. Oh yeah, and if it's related to shooting or a gun, I think I've got to actually search it out myself, because it never pops up on my feed.
Hmm.
But I think it works out a little bit better that way too. But
Yeah, I think it definitely keeps you fresh, keeps you from getting jaded or burnt out on it. I know a lot of guys who have gotten really burnt out on just the inundation of firearm stuff, and that's a hard balance to keep, really diving into this hobby, but not letting it get so overwhelming that you just don't give a crap anymore.
yeah, well, and I blame and thank Mr. David Blanton, the BDE, the humble marksman with the big dad energy.
Uh-huh.
He told me my YouTube videos sucked, and I didn't feel bad about it at all. This is when I tried to make YouTube videos, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Dave, thank you for saving me so much time and headache. I'm not making any more YouTube videos seriously anymore. But it saved me such a headache, because I was getting burnt out trying to do this
Mhm.
odd schedule of put a podcast up, put a video up, put a podcast up, put a
Yeah.
video up, and it's like it wasn't sustainable, and nor was it good to watch. Nor did people watch them. um, the
Yeah,
ones
well,
that
and
don't, the ones that are so low budget, don't give a shit, are the ones that do the best
yep.
for me. It's like
It's
that's
always the ones that you don't think are going to do well. And honestly, I've gotten a little bit burnt out on it. I've not been posting as regularly as normal. I posted every week for a save maybe like 5 weeks total over the course of about 4 years. And over the last probably 6 months, I think I've probably dropped about 6 videos, maybe. Just got busy with everything else. And we are planning to come back next year or this year. Now that things are kind of rolling again, I've got some products coming in. I made an equipment change that's going to help me out a little bit too. So trying to I just needed the time off.
Mhm. Well, and especially when you like, even in the like the review space that you're kind of in currently,
Hmm.
or were before you kind of took your hiatus or your slowdown, it's hard to keep buying products. You've got
Yeah.
to put your own money back into it. This hobby definitely doesn't pay for itself yet.
Right. Yeah. No. No. And even I mean, I was doing a lot better because I had altered my format a little bit, and I was doing more comparison reviews. But the comparison reviews, I think are way more relevant in the landscape of the gun review world, and they're not done nearly enough. When people are going out and they're looking for a firearm, you can go off of what Hickok says, he's a gun showcase channel. He says, hey, here's this gun. It's good. I like it. I can hit a thing at 150 yards away that I've shot, 500 times before. Or you can watch somebody shoot it next to the gun that you own. And you can tell you, and they're telling you what the differences are between those two. And then you can make an informed decision on whether you want to, either sell it and transfer or just get the new one. Or, it's the landscape of gun review is way more nuanced than I think most actual reviewers give credit to it. There's such a variety out there, and it's really hard to straight up tell people how good or how bad something is if you don't have something to compare it to. And not everything can be compared to a Glock 19, even though it's kind of like, I don't know if you want to call it the control, but it has become that. But I like comparing it to all of the other things too. Like I've getting 5 or 6 out there to be able to really get a good variety of stuff.
Right. Yeah. And it is hard. Now, right before we go back into this, Hickok, I can't watch him.
I can't either.
It's like he's a 6'7" kind of dude, and it's like,
and we're both midgets,
right? And he's got his Kentucky windage, but it's also one of those things of, I ain't got time for you, Hickok. You need to give me a 5-minute version of this crap, because your 20 minutes of a Glock 19 Gen 5 review, is a little old. But yeah. It is funny when he shoots the pop can, like the soda, and like, smoking pot. that's funny to me.
He does have a lot of like really bad dad jokes, but man, it's, for me, just because of the time that I have, like the spare time that I have, I got to get something. If I'm going to dedicate time to watching a video, I got to get something out of it. And I don't get anything out of those. I mean, it's enjoyable, and you get a lot of confirmation bias. People who are looking for confirmation bias coming into the YouTube space. And that's, go to Hickok. If you want him to tell you that the gun that you bought is a good gun, go to Hickok. He's your guy.
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, talk about these gun reviews and comparing them all. It takes a lot of time to get out to the range, compare 6 guns to each other, or to even just do multiple videos to make content. B-roll is huge. That's why I don't do it.
I suck at B-roll so much. I never remember to do it, and then I get home and like, I don't have a good spot for B-roll in the backyard unless you want like kids' toys, a fence, and dog poop in the backyard.
Yeah.
like that's what you're going to get in the background of the B-roll.
Right, exactly. Well, and it's like, or the second camera. I mean, you got to set up all the cameras, and you don't pretty much go. You go to the range with a group of people now, and you're like, it's hard to go by your, or the motivation. Like, I mean, during COVID, it was easy for you because you're like, cool, I can go like on my lunch break, go to the range.
It was really cool because, so for COVID, I mean, it super sucked. Don't get me wrong. Like, so we actually, for like a 3-month period, we had, we took a 20% reduction in hours and pay. And then they forced us to take another like a day of vacation. So we were working 3-day weeks for about 3 months. So which sucks. But at the same time, one of those days I would just go to the range for like 4 hours. And it was awesome. I would go and I would just knock out video after video after video. And I would be ready for, months worth of recording it, and I'd be good. But, when that went away, now I just don't have time, which sucks because I miss going to the range a lot.
Yeah. Well, luckily, I mean, you got the place kind of close to work, which is nice. I mean, I don't know if you've gone back into the office full time or if it's part time.
So we're back in 3 days a week, mandatory. I'm in there 3 to 4. I'm in there 3 to 4 most weeks, sometimes 5, but very rarely. So it's awesome and not. So it's Applied Ballistics is the range that's there, and they are they support shooting sports amazingly in the greater Lafayette area. They sponsor our matches, and they do a heck of a lot for me personally as a channel, with transfers and stuff like that. The only problem is it's an indoor range, and I can't really. Indoor ranges aren't the best for video, you know.
Yeah.
Now I did. That was one of the modifications to my equipment that I made. I actually just got a new lens. I was running a. So I run. It's actually right here. I run a big camera, and I absolutely love this thing, but I was running a prime lens, a fixed 16 millimeter prime lens, which the quality was freaking amazing. Like this is a lens that I had much bigger YouTube channels reaching out and saying like, hey, what the heck? Like, what setup are you running? Because the thing, it looks really good. But the problem with that is when the camera is sitting in the bay, like it was it was basically like this, and you can't really get a gun in frame with that. So now with this one, I should be able to get a little bit of footage in there, but it's not as conducive to what I want my videos to be.
Well,
And that, go ahead, man.
but then it's one of those things too that it's like you go in there to record a video on your lunch break or whatever, and then someone shows up, right? They could be dead all day, and then somebody shows up. It's like,
Oh, absolutely.
you people. No,
Yeah.
not me. Not
Now-
me. I don't mean you people, but I mean,
What do you mean, you people?
Exactly.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah. Oh.
So, well, and that's one of the parts where they're awesome. They would set me up on my own bay. Like they would set me on my own bay and let the other one fill before anybody jumped over. But it's you still get the dull thud in the background of somebody in one of the other, because they've got, forget you've never been in there. They have 3 separate rooms of 5 bays per room. So you can be in the far right bay, somebody's in the far left room, and you can still hear it, but it's not the worst. Like I could still speak to the camera, but really at that point I would just need kind of voiceover anyway, with the echo and the stuff that you get in those indoor ranges. It's just not the best. So I like it. Now it's awesome for going and like keeping up proficiency, popping in for a little bit. Just running 20 or 30 rounds through your gun, but I haven't even done that lately. So I've been slacking big time.
Yeah. Well, and things change too. You're just like, well, I'll just eat my lunch and go home today. Right. It's like,
Yep.
Exactly. It's not the difficult part, but so honestly, what made you want to start doing the YouTube stuff in general anyway? Like, because, you said back, in the beginning, it was one of those, you're doing these reviews or install videos. What made you want to put that out?
So I'm a tinkerer. Just by nature, I like with small stuff like that. I am not a home builder. I am not an electrician. I like small things and tinkering. So getting into that, I don't even remember what my first one was. I think it was actually the Dolos AR system. It was an AR build that I was doing. I was putting a Dolos, which is a detachable barrel system, on there. And like all of the tutorial videos were horrible, like just really bad. I had to jump between like 3 or 4 different ones to get enough information to be able to do it. And I was like, I could do better than that. So I tried it. And what I came up with, I thought was better. So I went ahead and put it out there, and it seemed like other people thought it was better too. So I just kind of kept going, trying to produce better things for people to be able to use so that their jobs were easier than what I was ending up having to do. It's really funny because what you don't see in those videos while I'm doing all this work and telling you how is me, like, pausing and playing the YouTube video that I'm watching to learn how to do it. And then all the F-bombs that I'm dropping while I'm like flinging springs all over and blowing up CZ decocker seer groups. It's pretty interesting, but my primary goal for YouTube has always been to help people to be able to help them do better than I did, or help them not waste money, or just give people a little bit more information to help them have something better. With with the reviews, a lot of the times my goals with those is to help people get informed so that they know what they're buying. Because the last thing that I like for people to do is to go blow $500 on a gun that I could have told them wouldn't work for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like that's it's a major failure that a lot of gun enthusiasts get, is they kind of like they mislabel firearms and who they're good for or what they're good for. And because of that, either they or somebody that they have informed, it just makes a bad decision. And I want to help people not do that.
Right. As you mentioned the Dolos. I don't.
Yep.
Is there any common ARs now that even have the Dolos? Do people buy that still and put it
It
on
still
gun?
exists, I think. I'm gonna look that up while we're talking. But
Because I remember what Iraq veteran, like the first person I ever watched was IV 8888 with
yeah,
like that showing off ARs, and I'm like, it's cool. But now I think back on it, I don't think I've actually ever seen one in person or seen like a gun at a store have one. So that
it's so it is a very cool system. They do still sell it. It's on sale right now for $235. That's with a handguard actually, which is impressive. But that's an MM. I don't know what that is. Anyway, like it really is a cool system. I just don't think that it's overly robust. I don't think that if you took that and you smacked it on your knee, I don't think it's going to survive that too well. You know, I just built a Sons of Liberty gun, and with their wedge lock, and if you take that thing and you smash it on your knee, it's not going to move. It's got a steel barrel nut and it's built like a brick crap house. And the Dolo system just wasn't rigid enough, and I think people recognized that and just never really bit into it too much. It'd be great for a backpack gun, trying to get something somewhere that you need to just fit it in a bag, but beyond that, yeah, it never really took off.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're talking about, you said you're talking about your Son of Liberty Gunworks.
Yeah,
AR. Is it OD green?
it is not.
Shame on you, sir.
However, my 6.5 Grendel is ODG.
I mean, because ODG is the best color. I mean,
It is. It is. It's an arrow builder set in there. What was at the time limited edition ODG, and now it's just one of their like rotating color groups. But it's a pretty badass looking gun, if I do say so myself.
right. Now, what's been your most favorite video you've worked on?
Oh, that is a question that you should have prompted me for.
It just came in my head, so
you
yeah,
know,
you
I
get
don't
no
know. Like,
warning.
So the ones that are fun are never the ones that like do overly well, except for one, and that was the one that you were a part of, that Glock trigger one. That was a fun video. It was hectic and it was a rush the whole time. Like I felt like we were running that entire time to try to get that done, but that video was fun and it did pretty well. The can cannon one that we did was a lot of fun. We really want to get another one where instead of can cannon bowling, we do. Have you seen the videos where like the people spin the bottle and whoever the bottle lands on, they have to go get like an egg or a snowball and throw it at the rest of the group? So we want to do that with the can cannon and Nerf football. So you spin the bottle and whoever it lands on has to run, take off, grab the can cannon, and boop at everybody else with the Nerf football.
I suggest that Eli is the one who has to test this out first.
I just throw my kids at it.
Yeah.
No, but that, and honestly, like the USPSA videos are a lot of fun. I like vloggy style videos. If I watch non-educational stuff on YouTube, most of the time it's going to be a vlog style video by like Pete McKinnon or Casey Neistat, the guys who really kind of revolutionized the vlog video. And I'm trying to shift and amalgamate, like morph that into a gun video now. Like that's kind of what I'm trying to do with the channel now, is take a style that is not a gun style and put that into the gun world so it can be more of like a living thing, a living conversation video as we go through it, versus just the straight up reviews and comparisons and stuff. Because I don't know, I just got bored, I think.
Mhm.
um so but yeah, like the vlogs for competition are definitely up there as far as fun goes.
Yeah, but and you're right. Comparisons are hard. It's really weird though. I tried doing match videos like that where you vlog kind of through the
Yep.
day. It's so hard. Like if you're not
Hmm.
used to vlogging or talking to a camera, one, the rambles come out, and two, it's kind of hard where you left off. It seems like, where you're like, you don't want to sound like the same few things you're talking about in each like break between stages or even life. Like,
Yep.
like in my normal day-to-day life is boring as hell. Like, who wants to watch me vlog getting up, going to the gym? I mean, maybe now that I go to the gym, people would actually like watch the sped up time lapse, right, of me
Hmm.
going to the gym like and struggling. But like, I go to work, it's like we're normal people, we don't have interesting lives because we're not full-time creators who like Pete McKinnon and Casey. It's
Yep.
like we're boring people.
Yeah. Well, and so mine usually take about a week total to record now. Just because it's not a single day's worth of stuff. I'll do something funnish one day and funnish the next day. And I'm really trying to keep my kids out of it. And since they're here most of the time, like I don't I don't want their faces plastered on my channel. They don't need that, and people don't need to see that. Um, but that really reduces the amount of time and the amount of things that I can be doing while I'm doing these recordings. So a lot of it ends up, just in like the little snips here and there in between activities or stuff like that. So, it's hard to fit it all in, but I think once I get back kind of into the swing of things, that's another thing. It's really hard to get into the swing of things after you're out of the habit. It's kind of like going to the gym, you know,
Mhm.
like when you do it every single day for so long or every single week for so long, it's just habit. You pop them out and then you take a break, and then it's really hard to get back into it.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's where I am right now. I'm trying to get back into it.
Yeah, and I agree with you. That is definitely hard to build that new habit or change the habit of what you were doing to get it
Hmm.
back into the groove. Well, and especially like we've talked, and you're so busy with your day job, your side job, your side job, side job, and your side job, side job, side job.
Hmm.
Like it's so hectic, and you're like, or it's like I could either make a YouTube video and make maybe some ad revenue, or I can go work on my other business and actually make money.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. I mean, I could work my butt off for hours on end for a YouTube video that's going to get 1,000 views, or I could go work on designing a new holster, or I could go make a new product for Variant. And it's kind of one of the downsides. I mean, I'm one of those people with so many irons in the fire that it's really hard to pick, which iron to run at any certain time.
Yeah. I mean, I commend you, sir, because you're actually like, you're tackling this one step at a time, right? You took your investment of, you've invested in your camera gear to make good
Hmm.
videos. And then you're like, well, I invested in this 3D printer here. And it's paid for itself by now, I'm assuming.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like, I'm making money. Like, I sell shit now.
Hmm.
And it's kind of how the evolution of things goes, and which is awesome. And I guess we should probably tell the people about your side gig, right?
Which one of those side gigs?
The one that you're wearing the hoodie for. Thanks everybody for stopping through the middle of this episode. An awesome episode. Anyway, awesome episode with Mr. Andrew Workman of Work the Trigger YouTube channel, and my good buddy, owner of Variant. So, but you'll probably be listening about that in this whole show anyway. But anyway, let's run through the sponsors real quick because we know them and you love them. We got Go Fast Don't Suck title sponsor. Best title sponsor I can ask for. Bill's a phenomenal dude. Supports me, supports the shooting sports. If I ask for it, I do my part and he helps me out, which I greatly appreciate. Don't forget, Hunter's HD Gold. Brian's the hardest working man in our sport, so you can't forget about him. Go check him out. Find him at a match. Demo some glasses. It's gonna blow your mind. They're gonna be awesome for you. Anyway, Dominate Defense. Run over and use Manny Talks Shooting. Oh no, I'm sorry. Manny Talks 10 for 10% off. A Mach 1 speed belt combo, best belt in the business. It's gonna last you 4 to 5 times longer than any double alpha premium belt. because I know it's true. Anyway, run over to divtechshop.com and use the code Manny Talks Shooting for 10% off your whole order on your 3D printed magnet pouches that you need. So you got to do a weekend reload on weekend only string. You might need it. You never know. They're awesome. Mine's in high vis green. It's super bright and it's awesome. But Nathan makes the best magnet pouch in the market, in my opinion. They're fantastic. We did a bunch of testing on them. That's my favorite thing about it. Don't forget, run over to my friends Tony and Jackie, the host of the Pew Time podcast, and the owners of Laugh and Load, an awesome apparel company that hosts my official t-shirt, the official Manny Talk Shooting t-shirt. Get out and do the things. That's what it says. It's on the back. So go out and do the things. Go support them. Go get an AF t-shirt. Go get a Supreme Division shirt with Only Shoot Open, because the Open Division is the best division. Whatever those shirts you want, like, they've got them. Bro, do you even dry fire? It's an awesome shirt. But anyway, check them out. They're fantastic. Don't forget, TargetsUSA.com manufactures the finest steel targetry on the planet. I say it. Steve Anderson says it. I think it's freaking true. So go check it out. If you want to know more about some Targets USA products, guess what? We got some more reviews coming later in the year. But hey, that's freaking fantastic. TargetsUSA.com, guys. Also, Eric Steiner, Johnny Giordano. Awesome products of RPG2. Yeah, I finally said it right for once, and I keep stuttering up. But anyway, RPG2, guys. They're making awesome 3D printed things for your press. They're making the 3D printed dot covers because you know you need them and you want them on the range. No one wants a dusty, watery dot. So put an awesome optic cover on it. Anyway, you can get laser cut foam. Order now before the season starts, guys, because when it happens, Eric will be busy and it will take longer. He's said it already. So get the orders in now. But anyway, awesome company, awesome pistol stands. Hopefully the next run, run 4, will be out soon. I can't promise anything on that either, though. But anyway, don't forget, Tim Heron Shooting, the guy who put me on the map, timheronshooting.com, guys. You'll thank me later because, honestly, he can get you on the sport, put you in the right direction, give you the right coaching that you need in your shooting. But anyway, don't forget, Chili Custom Gunworks or ccgunworks.com. Finest 2011 parts for your next open build, limited build if you're still going to shoot limited optics. You can get a gun belt. You never know. Hey, Chili Custom Gunworks parts, awesome E2 grips, L2 grips. If you want an awesome grip on your Staccato or Prodigy, get an L2 grip. They're freaking awesome. Super aggressive, not as aggressive, weak aggressive. But anyway, hey, you never know. All these awesome parts you can find at ccgunworks.com, and they're the title sponsor of the Michigan Sectional of 2023. It's freaking fantastic. But that's it. I've ran through all the sponsors now. You've heard me ramble enough about it. Anyway, let's get back to this awesome conversation with my friend, Mr. Andrew Workman.
All right. Yeah. So Variant came about. So my day job is like computer drafting. That's what I do. I have degree in design, and I had really held off on like the 3D printing world because it was all a gimmick for such a long time. Like all the stuff that you could get was super cheap and kind of crappy, but I finally pulled the trigger over COVID. I was like, I'll go ahead and grab one and I'll make some nifty stuff for the kids. And I did, we got it and made some nifty stuff for the kids. Just finished printing up a Spider-Man head. So there's that for you. But, and after a while I got bored and I was looking at something and I had picked up a Walther PDP, and which did really good on the good old YouTube page.
Oh yeah, you pissed a bunch of people off with that video.
Yes, I did. But hey, you know what though? They changed their cut design. Just saying. Anyway, so the PDP, I got the compact frame, and they come with they have full size mags that are 18 rounders, and they're really close in how close they are. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is dumb. I can fix that. I can make it so that you can fill that gap. So this, I totally didn't plan this being there, by the way. Like, it just was there. But so I went ahead and designed it, and I put it up under it was the worst company name ever. Work the Trigger C3D, WTT 3D. Which is, the funny thing is, like, so there was so much hate going on the Walther pages for me, because this was shortly after I put that video up, like maybe 3 months after, and it was still getting decent traction. It popped up on their Facebook page like probably once every 3 or 4 weeks. It was amusing to me. But so there was all this hate about the dumbass guy on YouTube who was making these outlandish claims, and then the Walther guys started hopping on my site and buying the crap out of these. And I mean, the reason that I made them is because in reality, the PDP is a good gun. It just had an aspect about it that I thought that they under-engineered. But that wasn't going to keep me from take from taking the good gun and being able to make it better. Earlier we were talking about one of my reasons for YouTube being trying to get people to trying to give them like the most information they could have to be able to make the right choice or not waste money. Well, this kind of falls along those same lines. Versatility in the stuff that you buy is super important to me. I really like a versatile firearm, something that isn't just a nightstand gun or isn't just a carry gun. So this would let somebody with a PDP compact, which is the easier to carry gun of the two, so let that person toss an 18-round mag in it and essentially have a full-size handgun for their nightstand while being able to carry the compact size or be able to run a full-size mag as a backup and not have to worry about that gap. Because with that gap in there, there's two different problems that you get. The first problem is just the discomfort. You don't get that fuller grip on there of like a full-size firearm. The second problem is over insertion. So I'm going to pull up it. Can I show guns on the YouTube portion?
Yeah, because it's not live. It's just a recording, so you're good.
Sweetness. Okay. So we all know, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. Most people know, maybe if I put my head back here, it'll unfuzz. Well, whatever. It's not going to work. So the ejector that sits inside the magwell of a gun, if you push a mag up through there and it goes too far, it'll hit that ejector and just bend the crap out of it. And it'll essentially render the gun non-functioning. So this will keep that from happening. So not only are you getting more versatility, but you're getting a safer use of your firearm with that versatility. And, so I made this thing and it did pretty well. And I started looking at other guns that were in that same niche of being like a popular enough gun, but niche enough that the big companies aren't going to touch it. So there's really the only company that produces these things in like mass amounts is X Grip.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever run an X Grip on anything?
I don't think so.
Okay, they're standard high volume injection molded. There's nothing about them that is like overly designed to the application of the gun that they're on. So an X grip for an M&P looks like an X grip for a Glock, and they really they don't look like they match the guns at all. So that was another thing that I really wanted to change, was wanted to give people this edition that matched with their guns. So like on our P10 versions, let's see if I can get this on there, we actually mimicked the stippling of the P10, and it's actually pretty good. It's almost as rough as the P10, not quite, but it gives you the unity in the look of a gun, so it doesn't look as goofy as just a standard X grip that just doesn't match. They're competitively priced with X grip, so that we're not we're not trying to really ream people because it's a niche market. So just trying to get these things out there and give people this versatility of the products that they already have, so that they can use them like a gun that they don't have without having to buy a complete second gun. And it's really, it's taken off pretty well from there. We've changed names. We're no longer WTT3D. We're Variant Innovation now. We've got, I think, 9 different magazine sleeves. We've got a new product for Tenacore holsters that replaces the little torque bar that they've got. We've got some shotgun shell can mugs. These things are awesome. Manny, do you drink energy drinks?
Not frequently lately enough.
All right. What about, do you drink 16-ounce anythings?
No.
Okay. Well, then you're not getting one, but they're pretty cool, honestly.
Those are pretty cool, and I like that it's not black.
Yeah, it's two-tone. I don't know how well you can see it. It actually looks like a shotgun shell.
It's pretty cool. But
so
But you still need to make me my Hellcat Pro to Hellcat mag thingies.
Yes, yeah, that got thrown behind this, which is actually a pressure switch mount for a what is it? A Streamlight ProTech.
Oh, I need one of those too then.
For an AR. So those are pretty cool. But yeah, we got a lot of products getting ready to come out this year. This year should be a pretty good pace setting year for us to really get a little bit bigger in the market. So that's where we're sitting with that. And that takes up quite a bit of time along with my other side job.
The true question is, what's printing right now?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing in queue. It's just you have it paused or turned off, or
yeah, they're turned off right now. And as much as I'd like to say that it's because we're recording this and they're right back there and it would be really annoying, the actual reason is because I'm running extremely low on material and it is currently out of stock. So I have to keep an eye on all of my inventory and run only what I need, because I got about a month and a half's worth of inventory left, and there's a possibility of them not having material for 2 months. So we're having to keep an eye on things. The SIG guys have been very busy. We have 2 different adapters for the SIG 17 round mags for the PD, not the PDP, the P365. We have our standard one, and then we have one for the Wilson Combat Frame. And the Wilson Combat Frame one has been very very popular lately, which is fine. I mean, come get them. I'm not saying don't come get them. I'm just saying if you do a lot, I might just run out, unfortunately.
Yeah. And you even put up a video not too long ago on Instagram about somebody taking your own file.
Yeah. I don't, where did that go? Oh, that wasn't it.
In the trash where it belongs.
No, I kept it. No, somebody got a file that was very similar to mine, like to the point where I feel like it's an older file version, and produced it, and it's on or it was on AliExpress. I don't know, however you say that. For it was like $8, which I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know how you're making those for $8 and making enough. I mean, they must just be running it on like the crappiest Ender 3s and just making tons of them on like 20 Ender 3s. But yeah, it was not a good material, and it fit, but not well. And they were super shiny. Looked like somebody had just like polished the crap out of them.
Well, and they probably had their gloss setting set too high on their machine or something, or because I live in the plastics world, like, and that's the fun part. Like when I talk to people about plastic, and it's like, yeah, you need either more glass, or you're not letting it cool long enough when you're injecting it. So it's like it kind of works on 3D printers. I haven't dabbled. I'm surprised I haven't dabbled into 3D printing at all, but it's because
I kind of am too.
It's a thing for a thing, right? It's kind of like that hobby of a hobby, and it's like, I really don't want to do a plastic related thing at home.
That's fair. That is fair. Yeah.
Now, but the cool thing is I could make me cool things. Like
you could.
And then I'm like, oh, that would be handy. Like all these like command hook like things that I need to buy from the store. Like I could make me a hook.
You could. You could absolutely make you a hook.
But I mean, besides the point, I mean, yeah.
Well, it looks like they're just using the PLA stuff that's like the base level. I'm using it's from Prusa, which is where my printers are from, but it's a polycarbonate blend to make it a little bit better for 3D printing, but it's carbon fiber infused. So it gives it this really nice like dull look. Because that was another thing, is like I looked forever to try to get the right finish. Because like the last thing I wanted is like this super shiny glossy extension on the end of like a matte black gun. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants shiny black.
Well, and then there's people who don't give a crap either. They're just like, I want this. I don't care what it looks like.
That's true. That's true. But I care.
You could print it in pink and they wouldn't give a shit.
You know what? I might do that just to see if I could sell them.
I mean, do it in October, right?
There we go. Yeah.
Half the proceeds go to, cancer research or something like that. There you go.
There we go, man.
But yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm glad to see variants kicking off. I don't know how many pictures you sent me of logo designs of like, do you like this
Oh.
one or do you like this one? How about this one?
So many. Dude, you should have heard the just brainstorming that went into the name itself. It took me 3 months to come up with the name variant. And I just I didn't want to jump onto a name that would pigeonhole me into like just 3D printing or pigeonhole me into just gun stuff or anything like that. I wanted something that could grow, be able to expand, but not sound dumb.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that took a really long time. And Michael from Link's Defense made fun of me on the regular for that, for how long that took me.
Yeah, but the only reason Michael makes bags is because Harrison bugs him, right?
You might be right.
So,
Here's the thing, Michael, I'm not going to say what his last name is, but he's got an awesome last name, and he didn't run that for like he got a different company name, so it's like of course it's going to take me a while.
yeah.
I almost did put my last name in it, but I was like I didn't want to make it like too overly personal. So
Yeah, exactly. And like you already like well, anyway, besides the point. If you know his YouTube name, you're halfway there.
it's true. Oh, it's right. My last name's Workman. Like I don't care that people know what my last name is. It's just I didn't want that like on the company. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. I am not. I mean, shoot, I'm pretty sure you can find my last name just by going to my Instagram.
Nope. You just have Andrew on there.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. It is what it is. No big deal, right?
I don't hide.
Well, and then like we know people who like they go by their pseudonym always,
Yep.
right? Like they like
Well, and that I did that for the longest time. I actually just started using my real name for videos and stuff. Like last summer, I think. I switched over. I was work up until then. And I mean, that's been a nickname of mine for 15 years or so.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I wanted to get more personal.
Yeah, and that's how it feels, right? Like if you give them your name, it feels like, hey, we know each other, right? Like,
Mhm.
or it's like it's kind of like meeting someone on the internet that you talk to on the internet and you finally meet them in person, right? It's like you know them.
Yep.
And that's the cool thing, right? Like even going to like matches, like you watch people on Instagram and you comment on their videos and you message them. And then by the time you finally meet them 3 years later or whatever,
Hmm.
it's like you know them like for 10 years.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how
I
it
mean,
was.
when you came down here and shot that match, like that wasn't, I didn't think that was weird. Like, because we had been talking on live streams for freaking ever before that, it seemed like.
Yeah. And that was my first USPSA match. I drove
That
3 hours.
that is crazy, man.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And like, we're squatted with Aaron, what was it? No, Andrew Heath,
Yep.
Aaron, Joey. Like even I had my conversation with Joey that was on the podcast. Like
Yeah.
Joey didn't know who I was. Like I didn't like Joey didn't even remember we were on the same squad.
To be fair, I don't think Joey knew who I was until about a year ago. So Joey is one of those guys, like when he is there, he is in the zone. Like he is just like he is laser focused on that stuff. And it is awesome to watch that dude work. Like watch him run through like walk through stages and plan it out and actually shoot. Like it is just it's awesome, but also super intimidating.
Mhm. Especially when you get like him, and even Aaron, Andrew,
Mhm.
and repeat. He has the
Yep.
best first name ever.
Right?
I don't see him in April enough. I hope to see them. I didn't see them at all last year at a match, so
That's
hopefully
because you
I'll.
didn't come down here at all last year for a match.
Yeah, but like the year before that, like I met them. They
Uh-huh.
at a charity match. They
Yeah.
were shooting with Jake Martins on the same squad, and so that was kind of cool. So yeah, it's just nice to you see all these people at different matches, and it's cool because you see them and you meet them and you chit chat
Yep.
with them, you catch up a little bit, and you move on with your day. But yeah, you've got some good shooters in your little podunk of middle of Indiana. I'm lucky that in Lafayette it's still in Eastern time zone.
Yes.
It's not central like when I went to North Porter, a couple of North Porter matches that are in
Yeah.
Illinois time, and I'm like, I was here an hour early. No.
I don't know why they do that. I still like with the way that daylight savings time is going to go and how we're like the next time we go we're going to stay on it. I really wish they'd switch us over to Central. I really do, because we're going to be I hate it when it's light at 10 o'clock at night here, you know.
But I love that because I can go shoot at the range until 10 o'clock at
See,
night.
my range doesn't allow shooting past 8 o'clock whether it's light or not.
Oh yeah, we have from I think hard set starts at 8 o'clock but goes till dusk.
Yeah. Now, so Wildcat is like that, but I'm not a member at Wildcat. They're unfortunately there, which I wish I was, but man, like their requirements for membership are just I barely have time to make the yearly safety meeting down at the range that I do go to, let alone time to go out and like do all the activities and stuff like that. So, and I'm actually a member of a second outdoor range now this is going to make you super jealous. So the one range is about 20 minutes away. This one's about 15 minutes away in the opposite direction. It's like halfway between here and Wildcat. And then we've got Wildcat if I can get Timothy to go with us. So well, I'm spoiled.
Yeah, I mean, you're way luckier than me. My outdoor range is 52 minutes away. There was another club I was range I was going to be a member at, but you need to go take a training course from this certain company who bought the facility, and I'm like, that's great. The range is like 10 minutes from my house. But you got to bring all your own shit, and then it's going to be run by Tactical Tim. Yeah. Nothing wrong with Tactical Timmy's except when
there's a lot wrong with Tactical Timmy's. It's okay. I'll say it.
I mean, that's fine. But how do I put it nicely is the fact that they get really concerned because a competition guy can shoot pretty good, but they're like, but why aren't you like tacticalness? I'm like, this is not what I'm practicing here today, guys.
Yeah.
Got my competition guns out. We are doing competition things.
Where's your retention on your holster? You need a hood on that thing, man. It's going to fall out.
I did have a hooded holster at one point, and then I destroyed it.
As you're running out with your 2011 with your race holster that literally like it's just a bar that the trigger guard sits in.
Yeah, exactly. They would be like, bro, that's no staccato.
Speaking of which, Manny has what is a beautiful 2011.
Yeah, I get to go pick it up tomorrow finally again.
Congratulations, sir. I'm happy for that thing finally being done for you. That thing has been a dream in the making for quite a while now.
Oh yeah, it's been in the make. Like I think since my first match, I've wanted an open gun. Like staring down, it's really weird looking at people's like, not creepily looking at people's crotches, but it's kind of like that's a cool gun.
He's creepily looking at people's crotches.
I mean, sorry when you walk up to Andrew and Aaron, you're just like, hey, I don't know you, but I'm gonna awkwardly stare at your side for a minute. No, I'm not looking at your junk.
Was that the one that Heath was running like the freaking rifle dot on his open gun?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I remember walking over and he was showing it to me, and of course it's on his side in his open holster, and I'm looking down and I noticed like not only am I looking at it, but it's just straight on crotch shot. It was great. That thing was gigantic though.
Yeah, some people love it. But
what dog did you end up running on yours?
I've got a Seymour RTS2.
Okay, I was pretty sure it was a Seymour, but I wasn't sure.
Well, the nice thing is you can get a 3, a 6, an 8, or a 10 MOA. So
what size did you get?
I went with an 8. I kind of talked myself out of getting a 10. Now that I've looked through a couple of 10s, my astigmatism, I can't see small dots. I've argued with people. They're like, get a 1 MOA. No, I can't see it. And by the time I can see it, it's blown up past it like a 1. There's no point of it. And it's like, I like the bigger dot. My eyes see it better. It just works better for me.
Even I don't like a 1 MOA, and I don't have astigmatism. 2 is pushing it. I live in that like 3 to 6 range. That's where I really like, but I can't always have what I want. You can't always get what you want. Sorry.
No, you're fine. It was funny. I was talking to my buddy Tony Salas right before shot, and I'm like, dude, someone needs to make a red dot with changing reticle sizes. And guess what HoloSun came out with?
Did they? Yeah,
it goes from like a 2 to an 8. It's like, dude, I told you so, motherfucker.
They are on fire this year. I've said it multiple times. They have come out with the most innovative stuff in the optics market this SHOT Show. Like blew everybody. Like, was Trigicon even there?
Yeah, I don't know. But nobody.
Who cares?
Like,
They didn't do anything.
I don't even think Vortex was there.
That's pretty sad. But
Like,
they
and
didn't. They wouldn't do anything either.
Vortex was like, I'm hyping this new dot. Like, in turn, like, I don't know much detail, but I don't know. Were they there?
Because they haven't actually officially said that they've got a new dot. There was just a lot of rumblings that they had a new dot. And honestly, I'm starting to think that it was just because they've been producing like subpar dots for so long that everybody's like, well, subpar dots and good everything else for so long that everybody's like, well, they got to be coming up with a dot, right?
Oh yeah,
right.
Like their rifle scopes, their binos, all those are freaking fantastic.
Yeah,
that's awesome. But like even the AR dots they're good. It's the pistol dots that are dookie, but
right.
It's just the two pistol dots that are Duke.
Yeah, but dude, you'd think that they would update those by now.
I'd hope. But like Hollow Sun with their their SRO direct competitor for $400.
So I will be getting one of those, but I also have, is this the one with one in it? Yep. Yes, it is. So they came out with the 509 after the Acro, and what's the other one? No, the Steiner came out after the 509. But so they came out with the 509. Good dot, acceptable dot. And then they came out with this guy, the EPS. And dude, I am not kidding you when I say this is the future of the enclosed dot. It's a standard mounting pattern. So I mean, you're talking the same rigidity of like RMR mounts. This is a Holosyn K mount, but the Holosyn K mounts and the RMR mounts, essentially they work the same. They've got the posts and they work the same essentially. But so you've got all of that benefit of a standard system in an enclosed dot, and it is just, I'm running a green one on the Staccato right now, which this is a red one. The Staccato is getting the red one. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. I hate having a gun down. Like, I don't know how you feel about that. Like,
oh, it drives me nuts. Like,
yeah,
it's like, ugh.
Yeah. So like, I want to be able to, like, the morning that I'm going to the range, pull the dot off and put the new one on, and then have like the 4 hours of, even that 4 hours between when I pull the dot off and when I get to the range to zero it, that's going to drive me insane.
Well, unzeroed dots are like the worst. I've got, I'll say, I got 2 guns that have unzeroed dots right now because I swapped my SRO off my carry optics gun, put it on the wife's carry Legion. But the problem was how the Glock 17 was milled, was so tight to that SRO. Yeah, like I had to take a mallet and tippy tap my RMR down into it. I mean, it's a great fit. One, there's no posts. 2, those suckers ain't coming out of there unless you really want them out. So you don't need the posts. But it's like they're unzeroed now, and I'm like,
yeah. And so often, like with the Staccato, so it came with I bought a CNH plate with it, because they're the only ones that make plates for the Staccatos for the K mounts. And so I get it all put on there, and their Staccatos, the way they work, it's very similar to like the Legions, where you pull the plate off and you lose your back sight. I freaking hate that design, by the way. And gum companies that do that should be like penalized. You should get like a percentage of money off because it's bull crap. Anyway, so the CNH plate had a rear sight on it. So I get everything put on there and I'm looking at it. I'm like, this is weird. The rear sight is barely tall enough to clear the dot that's sitting right in front of it. Now, mind you, this is a single piece plate that is made for a dot. And then it doesn't co-witness with the front sights. So now I have to buy a new front sight. I don't know what front sight to get. And it's barely high enough to clear that. It just doesn't make sense the way that they put the whole thing together. But
well, I mean, just like they're making their own American Chinese clone dots.
Yeah. Now. Like, okay, so we talked about, you heard what I said. What's your opinion on that? Because I don't get it. I don't get it, I guess.
I don't understand their point of offering dots. I don't, like, other than what we've already talked about, I don't understand the fact of there's no need in the market for it. Like,
right.
It's a clone of a clone of a clone. There's 3 clones. Like, just go buy an RMR or go buy the Hollow Sun. I'm going to tell you right now, go buy that Hollow Sun for on Q3 for $400. You're going to love it. You're not going to bitch. It's going to be awesome. Or an SRO. But it depends on if you like. The nice thing is it's going to be square, and it's not going to have that weird round thing of the SRO, but it's still going to be big. So, because Hollow Sun, you can't go wrong with Hollow Sun now. If it's a dud from the factory, they're going to replace it.
Right.
Like they're going to be like, here you go, just send it to us. Send us the old one.
I've had to send back one Hollow Sun, and it was because when I was swapping the battery out, the battery connections, when I put the battery in, because they've got that slidey door, it hit wrong and it folded the contacts instead of sliding under it. And they replaced it without question took about 2 weeks, I think, between sending it out and getting it back.
Which is totally normal when they think they're not going to send it 2-day priority.
Right.
I mean, they're not Amazon.
Right. No, they're in China.
Right.
No, I think you sent it to to California somewhere. But I mean, I don't get it. They didn't bring anything new to the marketplace. Like, they didn't reduce costs or prices by anything, compared to something like Hollow Sun. They're not a US made product for the same price as a Hollow Sun. They're not giving you additional features. I don't know. I just don't get it,
I agree. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to invest in that kind of market. And who says that these are going to be readily available too? They might have a first batch coming, and then guess what? They're gone.
Yep.
It's kind of like those ride-ons. Like, I see a lot of people with ride-on optics lately, like in videos and whatnot.
Yeah.
They're a budget optic, but they seem to be lasting. I don't know anyone who has.
They're hard to get.
Well, that's a good that might be a good thing too. Availability is a bitch, so it might actually be worth a shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, just make plates, Buck. You're not going to listen to it, but just make plates and cut slides. That's all you got to do.
They do a really good job cutting slides. They are one of the few places that I haven't heard like terrible horror stories about slide cuts.
They did have some issues with some plates for a little while. They got that fixed.
They did. Their volume requirements just blew up drastically, and it's really, really difficult as a manufacturing facility to maintain the tolerances and stuff when you're doing single piece checks versus 10 or 20 piece checks. One setup change can mess up an entire batch, and if you don't check that whole batch, you're toast, or you're sending out bad product.
Right. And then I thought the concierge thing was really weird. It's like, send a bottle of bourbon. Like, we're going to send you this case, send a bottle of bourbon. I'm like, no, just mail my slide.
Yeah. We'll mail your slide in a month unless you bribe us with alcohol. Then you'll get it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's great, because then the bottle will be gone.
That's weird. I guess it should be bribe us with alcohol or money, or you can pay a $20 expedite fee.
$20, not $300. Like, I don't like. Sure, you got the Pelican style case in the end, so I mean, there's some value there, but it's like, no.
Yeah. Speaking of Pelican style cases, do you see that new case from Magpul?
The one that
it's like a Lego case.
Yeah, I saw it. I haven't really looked into it other than seeing pictures of it. It's interesting.
I want one.
I just ordered new case foam for my open gun for a case I had.
Well, I mean, you're making it for a pistol case. This is a rifle case, but it's a rifle case that like you can set it up so that you sit your rifle in, and then you've got like a pistol corner, and then sections for bags and stuff. And
it's cool, but it's got like the little puck things, and it's
it's a Lego case.
And then you can put your DACA pouches on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool system. I like the idea of being able to customize things, but not be pigeonholed into the original setup you had.
Yes.
Because that's, people change guns. They sell guns, they buy guns, they trade guns. That rifle they have in that case that they designed the case around now is not necessarily the rifle they're going to be using in a year.
Yeah, I ran into that. I custom cut, like, pick and pull foam out, and then within about like 3 months I had sold one of the guns. So
right, exactly. And it's it's nice to see companies being able to adapt and swing like that, which is cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and what else was it? I had something.
I don't know.
I don't know. Terran Tactical had some cool guns for John Wick 4, but I mean,
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. Terran's birthday, I think, was today or yesterday. I don't know what day it was because,
Ooh.
yeah.
I don't
But
pay a
remem-
lot of attention to Terran stuff.
I only at SHOT Show time because
That's
everyone
fair.
posts like everybody and
Yep.
so it's like, oh, look, it's Terran and he's funny and he does his like movie quotes. That's like
He
remember
does a
when
hell of an Arnold impersonation.
yeah, and
I'll give him that.
and it's Sylvester Stallone. So he does
Oh, I
good
don't know
ones.
if I've heard his Sly impersonation.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. It was good. But this always reminds me of that bad time a couple years ago at SHOT Show. But
Right, exactly. So
but he seems like a really good guy, other than some personal bad choices, I guess.
right.
But anyway, we really haven't talked. Well, how much time do I have? Let me check the.
Oh,
let
we
me
got
check.
all the time in the world, dude.
I mean, we do, but like, how long are we at? How long have we been doing this? Okay, well, we're getting near the end, but we still got to talk a little bit about competition shooting. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I came down for my first match ever down at Wildcat. It was fun. You, me, and other Andy, who doesn't shoot enough as it is. He never hangs.
He doesn't.
But we love him because he's the guy who shows up with no practice, doesn't care, is there to have the hoots.
Yep. And then is actually competitive against us. The jerk.
Yeah.
No, he was one of the guys who just got too much into the gun stuff and just got burnt out on it. Yeah. Like it just does that. But yeah, he's the reason that I got into competition shooting. He had been bugging me forever. And like when he and I first started shooting together, I was not a good shooter. I was basically average, what you would expect Joe Schmo going out to the range once a year just to run a clip through his old gat, make sure it still works, that kind of guy. But he harassed me forever about it, and finally I was like, all right. So I grabbed my Glock 19, I shot open, so that no, did I shoot open or limited 10? I might have shot limited 10 with it, just to keep mag count, like round counts down. But I don't know. I don't remember what I shot anymore. That's pretty sad. But yeah, I shot a Glock 19, did horrible, just absolutely atrocious. Was not last place, but was like 5th from the last. So there is that.
Reasonable, right?
Yeah. But I didn't practice or anything coming up to this. But the thing is, I went and I enjoyed it. Like it was fun. It was something that I could go do and shoot that was fun. So I kept going. And at one point, like I took an SPO1 for a while, and I've shot so many different freaking guns in matches at this point that it's it's kind of sad, really. But what it's grown into is just, for me, it's not so much about, we were talking earlier about how I'm a competitive person, but I'm not competitive. Like I'm competitive against myself. Like I want to do better for me. And I'm also okay with just being in the top group of people. I don't have to be like the number 1 person, the number 2 person, but if I'm up there, like with those guys, and I know I can pull that off, like I'm pretty good with that. Like I'm happy with that, having seen what they can do. Right. But I'm fully okay with the fact that I will never be able to dedicate the time to it to be able to be a master or a grandmaster. Like that is never in the cards for me. I'm okay with that,
Well, and it's one of those things too. It's like you're comfortable with being in the top, and it's nice because you don't drive yourself crazy dry firing a bajillion times, which is nice too, because sometimes that just gets boring, absolutely boring. Like I had to stop. I stopped dry firing like halfway through last year because I was just like, I have no ambition to dry fire.
Yep.
But it is what it is, and it's like it's nice to be able to be competitive enough with your friends and like you rouse your squad mates, like, aha, I beat you on that one, or it's like, which is nice, but which match attendance has sucked lately.
Yeah, down here too. We've been running at like 30 to 35, and we were running 60. We were out of spaces on a lot of ours. At one point we had we had one month that was 6 groups of 12 each. Yeah, it was huge. It took forever. It was fun, but it took forever. But it's just it, my mentality on it. I think I have to maintain that mentality on it to keep sanity in and amongst all the things that I do, while also like making sure that I'm still enjoying it, because like I don't go to a match. I go to a match because it's fun. I really like shooting. I like all of that aspect of planning it out. I like stage planning. I like the actual shooting itself. It's just a really fun thing to me. And I always worry that if I really take it too seriously or get too mad about my performance, that it just won't be fun. Cause like there are times, I'm sure you've had them, when you go and you have a bad match and for a little bit there, you're just like, why the hell am I even like, that wasn't fun. Even though you had fun while you were doing it, at the end you're like, man, that sucks. And I don't want to get to the point where that mentality like sticks around with me for any more than like the couple of seconds that it comes into my mind, and then I can just wash it away with, no, it was still fun, I just didn't perform like I wanted to perform.
Right.
So my end goal with it is more, you and I were talking about it, like eventually I'd like to hit A class. Like I'm a solid B right now.
Took you forever, by the way.
To be fair, I have not shot that many like matches. I shot 4 matches this year, I think.
Yeah, I still like the one video. It's like you titled it when it does. It was something silly. It was like when it doesn't count or something for when it.
Yeah,
it's like
I was like 4th or 5th overall on that match, like 2nd or 3rd in carry optics. I did freaking awesome, and then just blew the classifier. Like it was so bad.
Yeah, that's the worst. It's like, why? But
Yeah.
luckily enough, I've never felt like, why am I doing this kind of thing? It's always like, why are you stupid? And like, why didn't you grip the gun? Like,
Yeah.
why you're pulling the trigger just fast enough? Why weren't you gripping the gun so you knew you were getting both alphas instead of an alpha delta or an alpha Charlie? Like, and then, like we shot a match because my club hosted Area 5 in 22, and then 2 months later, when we really had to tear down some of the stages because our bays that we hosted the main match on are locked down from members to use. It's only for events.
Yeah.
So we can kind of leave up stages.
That's cool.
So we put the targets kind of back up in a way that they are similar to. And I'm like, why didn't I shoot like this at Area 5? Like, come on. Like,
yeah.
And it's because I wasn't gripping. Like, I was just trying to go super fast and I wasn't gripping the gun very well.
And I will say sometimes my mentality on it is nice, because I will just go and just screw around on a stage. One time I was shooting with Lorton, and who is relatively quick
for a portly guy.
Yeah, like he's top 5 every time. One of those guys
when he's able to go.
Right, when he's able to actually make it there. But I mean, he's right up there with Heath and Zedek, and like he's up there. And so he runs a match. He's running an open gun, and he runs a stage. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to hit his time. So, and at the time I was running, I was running carry optics with my Legion, I think. And so I went and I ran it. And dude, I was within a second of him. Every single target was like an alpha delta. But but damn it, I almost got his time.
Right. And I
Mind
remember
you, he was hitting 2 alphas and with a major gun.
Yeah. But if everybody shoots alphas, it doesn't matter. It's only that matters when you're shooting Charlies and Deltas. But yeah, I love, there was a video you posted. Oh, that was early, or extra changes.
that was my last one. Like it was a stage with a
Texas
star at the end. Yeah. I just watched the video on that one. I talk a lot, that. And people that watch my videos know that. So I will give straight up commentary on accident to myself, because I work out loud. So I'll give a commentary on myself while I'm running a match. Like I'll take a couple of shots and accidentally do a mag change, and that was early, and then I'll go, and if I run dry at that point, I'll just curse myself out. And
Yeah, they're fun. Like everybody, like if you're listening to this, go watch some of these. He's not a bad shooter, guys. Like he's my buddy, and I like to razz him because like if we need to shoot a match together, I guess I need to pull out the carry optics gun next year and see if I can make it down there. It's hard.
No, bring your open gun.
Okay, okay, that'll be fine. I'll shoot that because it's harder to get that away from me.
Yeah,
But it's so hard because it's on the same weekend as my club, so we'll have to
I
figure
know.
something. That's the worst part.
It sucks. And I want to come up there, but dude, the problem with that is like with the kids and everything, coming up there dedicates a whole day. And I have a hard enough time dedicating the like 5 hours that we take.
Yeah. And that's one of those where, well, Caldwell needs to drag you along some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a guys' weekend. Where I have plenty of brownie points, right? But you're going to
those only work for so long. Like
yeah, but you're going to NRAM, so that's kind of cool.
Yep. Yeah, but you're not.
No, dude, I'm
know.
unhappy that I can't go because I was looking forward to that.
No, but what you're doing makes way more sense for you, you know?
Yeah, but I don't. Mid-April sucks. Like you don't know what the weather's going to be like.
Yeah,
it could be. I don't want to say the S word, but there could be S on the ground, and I'm not looking forward to
that. We're supposed to be getting some of that coming up in the next week or so.
I mean, this winter's been really weird. It's been rainy and it's been cold, but rainy, and it's feeling like fall is like creeping along, and winter hasn't hit yet. And then when winter is gonna hit. It's going to be an SOB. It's going to be here forever, and it's going to suck.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to get dumped on with snow, and you and I are both going to lose our dogs. They're just going to be just in it somewhere.
Yeah, but that's so funny, though. He hasn't had real snow yet, has he?
No, he's not.
Oh, so it's going to be like...
He walked out, and we got about like a half of an inch. And he walked out. It was only on the grass, so he walks out on our patio, and he just stood there. Like just stood there, and I knew he had to pee, so I actually had to pick him up and like throw him out into the snow, and he lands, doesn't move, pees right where he's at, and then just like darts back. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, that is humorous. Mine just loves to run around the snow. The female loves to bury her nose in it. The male's like, I'll go pee and then we're done, right? Which is nice.
He's old now. He knows it. He's good.
He's 4 years old, baby.
I know. I heard. Didn't he just have a birthday?
Yeah. It'd be the 19th. So when all of you people listen to this, it's gonna be far past. But when recording this, it's 1/20 of 23. So yeah, his birthday was yesterday. It was good. He got lots of pets and he got his blueberries.
Nice.
I didn't go out and get it. I wanted to make him a cake, but then I got just too busy with whatever else I was doing at home.
That's so much effort, though, for an animal that won't give a crap in 2 days.
Yeah. And I'm like, I told the wife's like, well, let's go buy party hats. I'm like, no, because I'm going to waste money from the dollar store on these party hats that then I have to throw away or keep.
And he's just going to hate that. That would be a hilarious video, though.
Yeah.
That would be well worth it for the funny factor.
The female, she'd wear it, no problem. She loves getting dressed up and whatnot. Like when you got to put like
the fact that you know that concerns me.
Well, when she got neutered, she had to wear onesies. So, she didn't mess with anything. She loved the little onesie. She was just like, I'm content.
What dogs like that?
Female dogs, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. Guess. I mean, some male dogs like it, but anyway, besides the point, we're getting a little far off topic, but it's okay. Everyone knows I love my dogs. My dogs are my children. I don't have kids, so that's how this works. Fur babies for life. But yeah, we got to hit up. We got to meet up again and either do a video or just try to meet somewhere like halfway. It would be nice if we could meet like Fort Wayne and just go to lunch or something. Like make it a half day so we don't piss off.
How far is Fort Wayne from you? About 2 hours?
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay. I don't know if I've told you this. My father-in-law lives up there.
Oh, okay.
So the next time we head up there, I'll give you a call and I'll give you a call, and then I'll give Shell a call, who is a buddy of mine, and then I'll go and we'll meet up with him and we'll shoot too.
Oh, that'd be cool. That is be cool. But I mean, we should probably get this near the wrapping up at the end because we're not going super long, but I do want to go to bed. I got up at 1:40 this morning. So and we don't want to make your wife stay up too late. But it is Friday night, because I mean, maybe if she could get me some Ruby Shoho tickets, please.
We'll work on that.
Right, exactly. But Andrew, this has been a blast, brother. But gotta plug,
Absolutely, man.
plug what you gotta plug so we can get you some love.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Go check me out on the socials. We got Work the Trigger on YouTube and Instagram. We got Variant Innovation on Instagram and variantinnovation.com for any 3D printed gun accessories that you're looking after. And then if you're interested in some of the best concealed carry holsters, head over to harrysholsters.com. You can use the coupon code Work the Trigger for 10% off over there.
Boom, there you have it. Go check out Harry's Holsters. Harrison's a good friend too. He razzes us enough, but it's awesome. Makes great holsters, as you do, because you design them in the 3Ds. Yeah, guys, so check out Andrew, check out Harry's Holsters. But until next time, guys, get out and do the things, and I'll see you on the next one. But wait, do the outro.
Oh man, mine?
Yeah.
All right. If I can remember, it's been so long since I've done a video. Remember, guys, I appreciate every one of you. And until next time, do your research, get informed, get to work.